Okay, this is Ken Ugert again. This is going to be the third video. We'll just start from log on and go through some graphics, just general operations of the graphics and things. So again, you'll go down here and find this symbol with the circle with the line through it. It'll be either this symbol or if you got a newer version, it'll be a different symbol, but it'll be something like that. Right click on it, do a log on, type in your username. Again, it's capital sensitive. Get brain dead. Okay. This won't be your home page, but it is the home page for this school. Your school will have something similar, and it's going to be called the home page or main page or whatever you want. The program that this uses is called the Pinpoint program. It is a program within Continuum that is used for graphics. You can see at the very top here that is Pinpoint, and you can see the path that this graphic is. We'll get to where pathing and stuff later. But anyway, you'll have information on this front sheet. Basically, you'll have something to click on. If you'll go to any of these selectable buttons, you'll see that it brings up a little yellow box, and it gives you what the graphic name for that box will be. This one is AHU2. Just look at the very end of it, because that's basically what you're going to want. This one's AHU3, and so forth and so forth. But anyway, if you click on one of these, it will take you to a graphic. With a left click, it'll take you to a graphic. Okay? So, and basically from there you will just kind of navigate through clicking the different buttons. You can go, some graphics have, you can go to the next unit in line or previous, or if you, most of them have a back to the main screen. If you do a left click on that, okay, and that just navigates from one screen to another. You will see down here at the bottom you have your alarms header, and if you can go through those. We'll get to alarms later, but if that's hindering your graphics page, you can hide that now. If you do a right click on that, let's see, I screwed that one up. Bear with me. If you do a right click, it brings up the option to hide. Right click, you can hide that, and it'll bring up your full screen. So there you are at full screen. Some of them have the date and times on there just so you can verify that it's current. Like I say, all these will be different for different schools. This just happens to be this one. If you like things on here, let me know. We'll get to graphics and I'll show you how to change things. But most of these you can click on a specific point. What you guys are typically going to use, you're going to go to a certain area, a unit or what, and you're going to look and see how it's performing. Your graphic screens won't be like this. They'll be somewhat different. Different projects have different graphics and builders of the graphics. But all of them have the ability, you have the ability to change all of these points. Say you wanted to change a set point. Basically, that's what you want to do. You go on that value, do a right click, it'll bring up a box. You will come up here to this box, that's the current value. You will clear that value out, 70, change it to what you want. And you can say apply. You can select apply. If you do that, that will just change it and keep the box there. See, this box did not go away. Or you can push, change it, and you can push OK. If you push OK, it changes it, saves it, and takes that box away, ready for you to do something else. So now, the set point is now 71. Unless the program has control of this, it will stay at that value. Let's change that back to 73 as it was. And we'll say OK because I don't want it to stay there. Basically, that's how you change set points. Just remember to set these things in a logical range. Some of these do not have restrictions on them. I think setback would probably have a restriction on it. If you want to change that, you want to change that to 0 degrees. Let's see if it has a restriction. It does not. So it's going to go to 0. We don't want 0. So let's put it back. But some of these have range limits. So if you set it to a value and it says you can't go that low or go that high, it's because it has a range limit. And we'll get into that later too. But anyway, you can navigate through all these things. Basically, you'll be going back to the main screen and from there navigating from one unit to a different unit. So it's basically just left click and you'll take you to a different unit, or you can select one of these values. Like if you want to turn a fan off or on, you can do the same thing. Just come over and right click on the value, turn it off, tell it to be off. Because the program has this, and I'll explain this later, you'll have to disable this. If you disable it, it's forevermore going to be that value. If you push apply, the command for that fan will go off. And like I said, it will be forever off. Status goes off, command goes off. So this is one way you would test the functions of these units. You would turn the fan on, turn the fan off to see if it blows, turn the heat on, turn the heat off, see if the discharge air goes up. But you got to remember, if you turn it off and disable it, or turn it on and disable it, it will forevermore be out of the computer, be out of the programming, and it will stay off. It's like a switch. It will not come back on for any reason. So once you're through testing this, come back in here and enable it. You don't have to turn it to any value because the program's it's already telling it to do something. If you push apply, push refresh, refresh will give you whatever value the program's going to. So turn it back on. So the fan came on, the status should come back on. And that's how you would test each of these functions. You can test the cooling same way. If I were to disable it and turn this on, push apply, that would cause the compressor on this unit to come on. Or if I were to do the same thing with heating, heat stage 1, heat stage 2, if I turned it on and disabled it, those will come on. Like I say, it takes it out of the programming. So if you do this, if you turn the compressors and the heat on at the same time, hopefully the safeties in the unit won't allow you to do that. But if they're not set up, you will have heat and cooling on at the same time. But for a testing mode, you want to make sure that you're doing the right, you turn the cooling on and off when you need to, and turn the heat on and off. If you turn the heat or cooling on and you want to test it, you want to see if it's actually working, you would look at the discharge temperature. If you turn the cooling on, you would expect the discharge temperatures to start dropping. If you turn the heat on, either stage 1 or stage 2, you would expect the discharge temperature to go up. And you can sit there and watch it. And like I say, after you're done, you come back here and push enable, and either apply or OK, and it will be back to normal. But you have to remember what all points that you disabled or changed. Alright, so that's how you kind of navigate. This is the third video, and we will get progressively more detailed as we go along. Alright, so let me know what you think about these. Thanks.